Good morning, MMT. It is 6:14 a.m., 16 minutes to the opening bell. Pre-market's been underway for 1 hour and 14 minutes before the opening bell. We have a gap down, bull gap, exhaustion gap down is all it is. It's a bull exhaustion and it's a gap down. So we can see where Apple has 139,000 shares traded. We can also tell in the last hour that Apple Computer has moved in $2 ranges, roughly, because they have. And one of the things that I'm going to be looking at is how this stock here is up to 522, but it's been coming down here off of that 520 handle in pre-market right here in this video. Okay? That's what Apple's been doing on a 3-minute level in pre-market. One of the things that we take great pride in, I would say, is how do we get these bottom pre-market move entries and then selling them into the public when they go back up there. That's how we look at doing things. And you can clearly see the gap open down part of the market is going to be to the support levels where we would look at defining that price support level and how they would go back up into their higher price channels at resistance levels and then have that famous SMF sliding the previous 3-minute bar sliding below that half bar now is going to be the key. Once that starts, you would look for the lower volume profit taking to the lower support levels where then equities will build a base and continue to go higher from their ranges. The price today range in the Googles, the Apples, the Amazons, the Badoos, the CRM, the Netflix, which we have been enjoying the short, closes at 111.67. That's a $3 gap down in the price. We have been featuring this all week, in the previous week, all week, previous week, the whole week. And that was taking the name down and knowing how to put the top end of that trade when it was up at 130, when it took all the shorts out of Netflix during the earnings season that we're winding down in right now. The shorts got squeezed up to $130 or so. That was the time to get short because all the short interest was being squeezed in price. And now that that is off the table, you can see why the stock has little support on the way down. And when people buy in these levels, they get the $3 gap down and they get burnt. The lower support level in Netflix will set itself up. Yes, it will have a $2 bounce. One of the things that we'll look for is that the first support levels, when they bounce there, they bounce in a diminishing price pattern, then roll over and make lower lows. So that lower delta area will have to be confirmed with an IR above 25 and a complete turn in the SMF bid and ask trend ratio. Emini SP 500 pre-market futures update. We are now 6:19, so we're 11 minutes from the opening bell, but we have a clear picture of today's date. Okay, we can see here under this column that you were up at that 1368, which is a positive half delta bull trend in the SMF format that SMF uses for stocks that are or indexes that are hitting resistances and equities. However, you can see where the channel is from the top down here, and when you start looking at it, it's always good to know that where you start to get these consolidation phases. And this is the E-mini S&P 500. However, just so people know, take a look at where the secondary reversals come in. So this is the kind of thing that you're going to be looking for, is where these price channels hit their bottoms from their reversal highs. Equities will do the same thing. Here's what this one does look like when I zoom it in for you. You can tell here, let me get this part there. So you can tell right here what I'm talking about. And today is the 27th, and there is the high. There's where the reversal is at this trend line. So, and this is where your support level is. This is the mid part of the range, or close enough to it, let's say. However, once they find their price channel, and I'm just using this as a reference, MMT, for your intraday trading that's going to start in about 9 minutes from now, is that when equities do come down, they do find their price channel support. They will have two teeny script reversals in your pricing controls. So it's very important to understand weakness and strength, or strength versus weakness, or weakness versus strength within the consolidation channels that you will be experiencing today in consolidations that will look just like that in the opening bell in about 9 minutes. Conclusion, E-mini S&P 500 futures, 1356, pre-market. Now, on the flip side, MMT, when I go over here to your NASDAQ 100, you can clearly see what today is. I just will blow this part of it up for you so that you can see your 227 intraday high, which is here. That's that 2600. It got slightly above it, made another higher high, but that each high starts to get exhaustive. And that each bull high, so we got bull exhaustion. And when you get to bull exhaustion, just like bear exhaustion, when things are sold out at the bottom, then bear exhaustion is in and they rally higher. Well, when bull exhaustion is in, they get at those price levels where they're exhausted. Nonetheless, within the bull cycle range today, this is a NASDAQ 100, and it's 100 stocks and a NASDAQ comp, and it's an E-mini futures 100, and it's free market, but it's forward looking here in about 7 minutes on the opening bell. When you come down, you hit support, and you rally on up in the price channel. And here's the midpoints of these intraday channels, and equities are going to have the same type of movement. So you'll be looking for that out of Apple Computer, Amazon.com. You'll be looking for it out of names like CRM today, Baidu. There's lots of names that you cover. I'm just giving you a few of them. Priceline reports earnings today. Opening bell in 7 minutes. Intraday price ranges and price channels are primary focus. Why? Because this way, when you're buying at support and your upside is limited, say it's a 3 teeny range or 5 teeny, you got to know when to sell at resistance and buy at support, sell at resistance. This is a lower end of a price channel. You'll see the very same patterns in your intraday equities that are the bellwether leaders in the NASDAQ 100. I'm going to conclude that the markets are gapping down as we speak, not by much, MMTs. You got the CAC 40 down 46.62, 3.4%. You have the DAX down 95.61, 1.39% down. FTSE 100 57.38, down 0.96%. Euro 0.008, minus 0.59%. S&P down 6.8, down 0.5%. S&P 500. Dow futures down 54, down 0.42%, 12,907 on those futures. NASDAQ futures, you have a diminishing bull exhaustion gap down 1075, 10 handles, 0.75. Gold is down 2.1. Crude is down 94 cents to 108. Speaking of which, higher energy prices, right? So you got the CAC 40. Like I said, we went through the Europe deal. So we're ready to start trading in about 5 minutes, making a market. And making a market between the public model and knowing when to buy at that lower support level and selling into resistance, selling resistance short, and buying back at the support level within the actual script ranges that are provided to you in your MMT trading platform.